All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and love to all the Akim pushing this truth and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Lahath Mayad, and I want to go into Jeremiah 50, all right, which is speaking about Babylon. And I want to prove that this is not speaking of ancient Babylon. Okay, it's actually speaking of America. All right, mystery Babylon, and Lord willing, I'm able to link it up through scriptures. All right, so verse 1, the word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. All right, and the Chaldeans are your modern day Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man. Okay, verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, which is this Bible, the true understanding of scriptures. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Murdoch is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. All right, and Mystery Babylon, aka America's enchantments, are being brought down. They're being destroyed through the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, but given the proper understanding and letting the world know the truth. All right. You so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans are once again receiving the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and understanding what truth is, man, the true understanding of scriptures and who your true power is. All right, verse 3, for out of the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. All right, and that nation that will come out of the north is Russia. All right, and this actually links up with Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which is the Russians, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and we all know how Sodom and Gomorrah ended up. All right, so going back to Jeremiah 50 and verse 3, for out of the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell there, and they shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Okay, and I want to get Revelation 17, 3 and 5. Okay, and this is just to prove again that in these latter days, okay, the days that we're in now, these times, a mystery Babylon needs to be identified, okay? So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, the 7 heads are the Edomite kingdoms that have ruled throughout time, and the 10 horns represent the NATO and the EU, all right? And the woman, all right, which is America, was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, Great, the mother of harlots, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay, so right here, this right here is further proving that in the last days, okay, there would be a mystery Babylon that needs to be identified. And this mystery Babylon is the same Babylon spoken of in Jeremiah the 50th chapter. All right, so let's go back to Jeremiah 50. Okay, verse 4. In those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh their power. All right, and if you know your history of the Bible, you know that see, within this verse, the children of Israel, that's the northern kingdom. The children of Judah, that's the southern kingdom. All right, if you know anything about the ancient Babylonian captivity, you know that the only one to serve within that captivity was the southern kingdom. Okay, because the northern kingdom, they were taken by the Assyrians around 722 BC. All right, and you can get that in Second Kings, the 17th chapter. In the Babylonian captivity, which the southern kingdom served, that was around 600 BC. Okay, and when in 722, when the northern kingdom was taken, they never came back to the land of Israel. Okay, they ended up coming over here to this side, to this continent, to the Americas, to the land which is now known as the Americas. All right, so that's another way to proving that uh, the Babylon spoken of here in Jeremiah 50 is not the ancient Babylon. Okay, it's modern day America, mystery Babylon. Okay, verse 5. And if you don't believe about the captivities and all that, all you got to do is Google it. This is history. These are facts that can be easily accessed. All right, verse 5. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Okay? And this has happened. This has happened. In verse 5, this is what's happening now. Okay, you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Latinos are waking up to the fact of your true identity, your heritage, and we're seeking our way back to that covenant that we entered into with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Verse 6, it speaks of those who are set up as our leaders today. Okay, teaching us nothing but vanity, nothing but falsehoods. All right, and some they do it ignorantly, and others they do it willingly, because they've sold out. Verse 7, all that found them have devoured them. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, We offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even the Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Okay? Verse 8, remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goat before the flocks. All right, and when it says remove out of the midst of Babylon, it's not speaking physically, it's talking spiritually. All right, we have to disregard what we were born into, the state of mind that we was born into, and realize that we have, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's will to abide by. Okay, that's the spirit that we need to be in. Okay, celebrating all these pagan holidays within this land. Okay, thinking that this world is going to continue. All right, believing in modern day nationalities. All right, that's not the state of mind that we should be in. Okay, we are, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. All right, we need to be examples for the entire nation of Israel. All those who feel like they have a calling upon them need to be an example. All right, verse 9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Okay, and this is actually speaking of Russia, okay, and NATO and the EU. All right, and it actually links up with Revelation 17 and 6 and 16. Salaki. Okay, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, okay, these shall hate the whore, aka America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, this is the NATO and the EU turning their backs on America, Mystery Babylon, okay, the great whore. And this also links up with Obadiah 1 and 7. Okay, and if you understand who Obadiah is speaking of, is the Edomites. Okay, verse 1, the vision of Obadiah saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Okay, this is talking about Edom, and not in a positive light. Now, let's go down to verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. Okay, because these Edomites here in America, aka Mystery Babylon, they're extremely prideful, man. They don't see their downfall that's right in front of their face, which is soon to happen. All right, if you're being a watcher and observing the times, you understand that, man. Hey, there's great trouble up ahead, which is it's a beautiful thing, and at the same time, hey, it's sobering. All right, going back to Jeremiah 50, verse 10. And Chaldea shall be a spoil; all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O you destroyers of mine heritage. All right, and that's the nation of Israel. Because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and below as bulls. All right, and that's because America, the way in which it got its riches is through the sweat and blood of the nation of Israel, beginning with the southern kingdom. All right, verse 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. All right, Great Britain. Behold, because out of Great Britain, when they came over here and established the colonies, then later they rebelled against them, and America was established. The hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at her plagues. All right, and once again, okay, ancient Babylon is located in modern-day Iraq. And we all know that modern-day Iraq is inhabited. It's not a desolate place. So it's not speaking of ancient Babylon. This is speaking of Mystery Babylon, okay, a.k.a. America. And this is actually a future prophecy. It's speaking of America's destruction, which is soon to happen. All right, and it's going to come by way of the ICBM missiles, man. That's going straight up burn everything up. Put yourself, verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, the ICBM missiles. For she hath sinned against Yahweh. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her. As she hath done, do unto her. All right, and that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, bad times are coming to America, and all these people in this spirit of carelessness, being happy, not considering the times, they're gonna get a rude awakening. All right, so with that, Lord willing, this was a bit edifying. Shalom.